Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. I've got another Valentine's inspired design today. So I've got Pink with Benefits from Madam Glam, and I've got 1323, which is just a simple white from Cloud Beauty. Those are the main colours we've got. We also do have a nude. I've got 11033 shade over here, and it's just a simple nude. And we can crack on straight away with our nail design. So for today, I've really kind of felt inspired by crystal placements in particular. So today's nail design is very crystal heavy. We do have one pretty much full crystal nail, which took a lot of time. Half of it I did on camera, half of it I just kind of came off, so it won't be a super long video today, unfortunately. But it's a very repetitive nail design when it comes to the crystals, and I just love it. I hope you guys do too. I just think that it's such a girly, pinky, really cutesy kind of nail design, and I just love those kind of designs. Pink is my favorite color, so of course naturally this nail design I would just naturally fall in love, basically. So with our base colors today, I'm going to start off with one pinky shade. We've got 3 nude nails, and then one of them is going to be white. The reason we've got one full nail is because we're going to sugar it later on with some white glitter, fine glitter. And I just kind of wanted to bring in some white into this nail design, because later on we are going to do kind of like a half. It's like a half French, and I just felt like the white didn't fit in unless I add a bit more of a white like somewhere else in the nail design. So that's kind of my thought process behind today's nail design. So here's the glitter. I get my glitter from Larissi, amazing place. I have a link in the description. It'll save you guys some money, I believe. It's just great. Literally the best place for glitter. They have such a massive range of glitter selections and everything on there. You should definitely check it out if you're in the market for some glitters, because of course I always am. You all know me, I love glitter. There we go. Here's our sugared nail. So we've applied 2 layers of the other shades and we've cured it and everything. So now it's time to do some hand nail art. So I've whipped out my super long nail art brush, and I'm going in with that beautiful pink on the nude nail. And I'm going to try and center the line as much as I possibly can. And you're only going to colour in one side. So you get to pick, you can colour in the right or the left. I think I went ahead and did the left on this one. And the other side is going to be that half French tip design. I really love that kind of look. I don't really know why I don't do it more often in nail designs. It does really look cool, I think. But luckily today is a special day that I've included it in there. And I'm here just using the brush from the bottle to just colour it in. Sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't, depending on whether I use my brain, I guess. It's just so much quicker to do it from the bowl. But there's absolutely nothing wrong with you just using your nail art brush. It will just take a little bit more time, which I clearly didn't have here. So I did go ahead and do another layer of that pink as well and cured. So now it's time for the French tip. And as you can see here, you just really have to imagine where the tip is going to be and just do half of it. I don't really know how else to describe it. I just imagine it and I go ahead and just paint. The nice thing with gel polishes, as you'll probably know, you don't have to cure it. So you can play about, mess about with it as long as you need to just get it right. You can also remove it if you wanted to. So there's a lot of opportunities here to get it right. So luckily, I have a lot of practice, I guess. I was able to do it first try, although I did go off camera and did a little bit of amending and fixing there real quick. And then you want to colour it in, and the same thing off camera, I will go ahead and colour it in with a second layer. There we go. So now I'm wiping it down with my Miley Nail Prep Cleaner. And that's because I'm just trying to get rid of the tacky layer, and I'm going to do it on that half French tip nail and on our ombre nail, which I actually ended up not showing you guys on camera. I don't know how I managed. I think my camera stopped recording or something like that, and it's just unfortunately didn't happen. But I do quite a lot of ombre nails on my channel, so you can just go ahead and pop onto a different video where I'll show you how to do an ombre. So I've got these little line stickers. They're silver. I got them ages ago on Shein, and they've come actually quite handy. When I first got them, I was like, oh no, I'm never gonna use them. But guys, literally game changer, those stickers. So highly recommend them. I wish I got some black. At the time they didn't have any black. I'm not quite sure if they've got black now, but they're so handy. So I'm trying to stick them down the center. This ombre nail was not having it, and I don't know if I mentioned, but I got rid of the tacky layer because I find that the stickers stick better on a more matte surface compared to the kind of sticky layer. I find that it kind of glides onto the sticky layer and it almost like floats on top of it, because it's like got that yucky sticky residue, and when I wipe it off, when I stick it down, it doesn't seem to be kind of like moving about as much. It kind of seems to stay in place. That's at least what I've noticed. So now it's time for a tiny little bit of stamping. We've only got one nail that's going to require a stamp. And I've got this stamping plate. It's really, really cute. I think it's from Big Bang Beauty. I think I've got it on AliExpress. I love it. It's the, I think 104 plate or something like that. But it's beautiful. If you just type into AliExpress, Big Bang Valentines or heart stamping plate, it would definitely pop up. And it's just so nice. I love it. It's one of the most picked up stamping plates for Valentine's this year for me. Just constantly picking it up. I love the hearts that we get. Mainly, I really enjoy the full cover images. I don't think I've touched the love images or the kind of like right hand side images there. I haven't. Only mainly the full cover. Just love them. So I'm going to double stamp it, of course, because the image is a bit too small and it won't fit onto my nail, so I need to do it twice. So I'm just going to repeat the process. I'm using my clear jelly scraper, and I'm also using a Born Pretty stamper today. And it's one of my clear ones, and it just works like a little charm for videos, because it's clear, you can very well see everything that I'm doing, which is great. So I'm just going to stamp it on again, and you want to make sure you leave the tacky layer on this nail, because that way the stamper image that you're going to pick up will transfer like a little dream. There we go, we've got a full cover image there. So now it's time to top coat. So basically the nail art side of things, the hand, the stamping, that everything is done. So once this goes into the lamp and gets cured, it's going to be time for the crystals. And boy, was this a hefty big old job. You'll see in just a second. And the matte, well, the top coat that I'm using is a matte top coat. I'm using my Vanilla one. It's coming to an end. I've got new ones. They've arrived now, which is great. I ended up picking the Macart ones this time. So I'm going to be using some Macart matte top coats going forward, and we'll see how that goes, if it works any better. They were super affordable on AliExpress, not on AliExpress, sorry, on Amazon. They were super affordable on Amazon. I was like, oh my god, and I'm pretty sure Macart is a pretty good brand, so I really wanted to give them a go and see how that goes. I do have, I think, other top coats from them, but I've never had a matte one, or at least maybe I want to say I have a glittery holographic glossy top coat from them, but not a matte one, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes. So these are going into the lamp, they're out now, so time for our crystals. So for the ombre one, I've picked up some of my pinky crystals, and we're going to place a pinky little bow that I've got, this little nice pastel pinky bow, and also just a little selection of some circular pinky crystals. I literally fall in love with this pinky crystals. It doesn't really show very pinky right now on camera, but they are a very nice subtle, like a dusty pink shade. I got them on AliExpress a while ago, and they are my most picked up pink crystals. Beautiful, just so pretty, so sparkly. I love them so much. So I'm just going to finish this one up. This one did not end up having any caviar beads, so we're just going to leave it as is. There we go. I will definitely straighten it up, just in case you think, oh my god, it's a bit wonky. I do end up straightening it up and popping into the lamp. So one more nail we've got for crystals. This is the big old boy. So here, I'm using my Macart Rhinestone glue gel, and I'm going to draw out a heart. And then once I draw out the heart, you want to basically cover the heart, the drawing that you've created, with caviar beads. And then everything outside of that heart, you want to cover up with crystals. So it's basically a full bling nail, this one. It's a big old job. Like I said, I ended up just having to go off camera and finishing it up because it took so long. And I was just trying to make it a little bit more perfect. And I was probably taking a bit too long, really. So I just ended up doing it off camera. But I do show you me applying the caviar beads, at least mostly majority of the heart, and then I also show you me filling up the bottom half of that nail, and then the top half will be done off camera real quick. So there's me whipping out my caviar beads. I've placed my caviar beads into this little like cardboard container. I just find it so much easier to pick up, in case you're wondering why it's there. It started off with me actually breaking my little container and then popping them in there so I don't waste them, and since then it's like been a game changer for me. It's just so much easier to pick up. They're not clumped together. I can actually pick up which ones I want. It's just amazing. So as you can see here, I'm just going to follow the heart little drawing that I've done with the rhinestone glue gel, and then I will you don't want to be too precise here. You can be a bit messy. You can straighten up the lines and make it exactly how you want it once you've basically place all of your caviar beads. No stress here. Don't be, too stressed, too worried. I know when I first started doing this, I was like, oh gosh, there's no way I can make it perfect straight away, and there just isn't a way. You're just gonna have to go with the flow Allow it to look a bit wonky at first, and then you can grab all sorts of different tools to help you and guide you into making it straight. And you'll be all great. So you can use dotting tools and anything you have just to make it straight, whatever you prefer to use. So I'm just going to finish up the caviar beads, and once I straighten up the heart, I do pop it into the lamp just because we do have a lot more crystal placement to place, and we are going to be placing it very close to that heart, basically touching the caviar beads, and I don't want to keep going back in and changing the heart shape because the other crystals kind of knocked it and changed the shape. So I do go ahead and cure once it's done. So I'm going to clip it in just a second so you'll see it all nice and straight, and well, as straight as I could have got it. I'm sure I could have done a better job, but this is what we basically ended up with. So now I'm placing the rhinestone glue gel on the bottom part of this nail with my brush, and then I'm going to be picking up 3 different types of crystals. So I decided to mix it up and place some pinky, some opal I believe, and some clear crystals. So this is all completely up to you. You could just use the one crystal, but I thought I can spice it up a little bit, change it around, and just, you know, give it a little bit of an extra little touch, make it a little bit more interesting than just the one crystal. See, this is kind of like a puzzle here. You want to be picking up crystals to fill in as much of the nail as possible. I've kind of mixed up a few of my crystals together so they're kind of mixed on my little palettes, and I'm just picking up crystals that I think would match up in there the best. It is a bit of a fiddly game. You do have to kind of, I did end up placing a few, then removing a few just because it didn't end up kind of covering as much as I needed it to. I, you know, changed the sizes a bit every so often, so it can be a bit fiddly, it can be time consuming for sure, hence why I also started with applying the rhinestone glue gel just at the bottom first. Once that's done, I placed it into the lamp and continue with the top, just because I didn't want to place the rhinestone glue gel across the whole nail because I knew it would take me quite a long time to get the crystal placement right, and I have before found that the rhinestone glue gel tends to kind of almost cure. I don't know whether it's because of my lamps that I use for recording, but it does end up kind of getting a bit, the texture becomes to change, it becomes a bit more gooey and stuff, so it's just best to you know, use as you're going, and you probably will end up with fluffs attached to it too if you end up doing a whole nail, just because of how long it takes. So I do recommend doing it in little patches and curing in between. And yeah, so I only show you guys me doing a little bit of this, and we are going to cure it. So I'll let you guys watch the last little bit of this, and I'll come back to you guys once this nail is all nice and done. Okay, and I'm back, and this is the nail all done. So as you can see, the sides are a bit empty, but there was just no way I could get any crystals in there. I don't have small enough crystals. And this is the final result. So as you can see, looking from the front, you cannot see there's any gaps in between the crystals on the sides. So you don't have to be too perfect with it. It's absolutely fine to have some gaps. You can always check some caviar beads in between the crystals. So I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I would love to see you all in my next video. Bye, guys.